My blood pressure was through the moon last night. I had to and write a note to my doctor. Not digging these new meds. Genetics, man. Genetics.
Do they have to give you a higher dose because you're so tall?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Wayne. Yeah, they actually upped my dose. See, it's genetics. So my father, had kidney failure because of high blood pressure. My mom had it. My sister is younger than me. She has it. My brother probably has it. He really doesn't. I don't think he visits doctors too much. But so yeah, so they upped my dose a month ago, and I haven't been feeling right. Right. So I lowered it myself today. I just was like, you know what? I'm not taking the 30 fucking milligrams. I want to see if that kind of changed anything. But I wrote a note to my doctor and said, hey, not digging this, you know?
I know exactly what you mean. I'm trying to get this light right.
Yeah, light's fine, dude. You look great. Let's do the podcast.
Alex, I'm doing it for the people.
How's his ego?
Because
It's ego driven,
not.
Wayne.
No, it's not. It's that I haven't showered in 2 days and I don't want to bring attention to that. So if and I'm putting on weight and I'm doing all kinds of things. Man, here's something for you.
Mhm.
The Queen died.
Yes, I have been hearing that story. Yes, 96. That's a great life, man. That's a great life.
The Queen was a big. Now they got Canada, North America a little. They were a little bit, they kind of went about it the wrong way, and that's what colonization is. And we don't need to get into that. And I mean, at the end of the day, we wouldn't be here without it. But a lot of people suffer because of it.
Mhm.
But that Queen
Mhm.
has lived through, or she lived through, so much history,
Oh, yeah.
and she was a part of so much history. So just celebrating that, I mean, that she was the queen for 70 years, man.
That's crazy, man. And she got the part. She booked the role because her father died suddenly, right? She was away and she was young. She was away on somewhere else, not in the country, I think. And she got a phone call saying, Your father has passed. You are now the queen. And she was like, "Eh?" So, and that's how she delved into it. That was kind of wild to hear that.
That's yeah, I if I ever got a phone call and I like knew something big was coming, but somebody's like, "Hey, listen, um, you're up now." Like her son, King Charles III, is what is going to be his alias.
Yeah.
He's is
So
he
he's the king
excited?
now, right?
He's the king. Yeah. So here's a little bit of history for people that don't realize what now goes into um this change of change in the monarchy. Every single hat badge on every Canadian or British item, like every hat badge, our police, every hat badge we have
Mhm.
that we wear in the military has the Queen's crown. It now must be changed to the King's crown. It happened after the King died.
Mm.
All of our money has to now have the King's face put on it.
So you're
All
getting
of
new money.
everything. We have to get everything. All of our
Just seems
ships,
like a lot, Wayne. It just seems
a
like a
lot.
lot. I'm
But
sorry. It just
but
seems a
now
lot.
like my question is this, like you get the phone call. Hello, Prince Alex Scooby the 14th.
Hello.
It's I've got some bad news, but I mean
Okay.
it's kind of like a glass half full.
Afo.
Yeah, it's not fofo.
I
It's
want
not fake.
fofo.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, but not. Please don't smile about this. But your mum died, and
Oh,
you're now.
wonderful.
Yeah, right, right. Like, is he? How? I mean, she's 90. She was 96 years old, but
That's amazing, man.
he's now a king, bro.
Yeah, but dude, he's like 82,
70,
but he looks like he's like 89.
but he's a king, so nobody's gonna say shit.
But that wouldn't work because then she would have had to have him when she was 5, which doesn't work. You can't. Unless you live in Indiana, you'd be forced to keep that baby. I have this wonderful thought on the whole kingdom and queendom and all that stuff. And here it is. It's pretty fucking ego driven to be the king or queen of any fucking thing, right? So now I know that they have to kind of do it because it's just this lineage of forever, right? But it's interesting because I don't think that I personally would want to be the king of anything. Now, I have a lot of friends that call themselves the queen of things, but I think that's different.
I
have this conversation with you on the phone?
I don't think so.
Oh
no.
my God, I died. So, Dago, your connection between you two and the way you guys bounce off, you guys would be a great married couple. You would be a great married couple.
I knew you were going to say that.
And then
I knew you were.
And then she goes, she just looks at me and she kind of shrugs her shoulders. She's like, "Give it a shot." I said, "I can't." And she goes, "Why not?" I said, "Because he's
got balls.
He's way bigger than me, and and so that probably means his package is bigger than mine too, and I can't date somebody with a bigger package than me. Like if we had the same size package."
Well, there's another problem here.
But hang on. She
Okay,
told
go
me
ahead.
she dumped a girl before she met her wife. She broke up with her last girlfriend because she had smaller boobs than she did, and she always wanted smaller boobs, so she was jealous.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
That's really enlightening. I'll say this. There's another problem. Is I don't like dick anywhere near my face or my back end.
I have a hard time getting up when my alarm goes off.
See?
So I'm not really cut out for the job. I like I do like some of their vehicles though. I kind of want to be, if I had to be involved in the royal, I would want to be like a jester, I think. I would be that guy. I'd be a jester. I'd just go in and amuse them a bit and then carry on.
See, you would be the jester. I would voice narrate their lives. Like I'd be,
Oh my.
today, the Queen of England woke up
Yes.
and had her tea with her biscuits and ham and jam. Do you know what I mean? And just
jam.
and just narrate vocally their entire existence.
Do you think in
I wonder what
memory
that pays.
Probably not a lot, but do they need money when you're involved with the royal family? Do you
Probably
think
not.
that maybe to celebrate, that the Queen's life, we do this entire episode in a British accent? Or is that offensive?
I think that would be offensive because my British accent ain't that good. I mean, listen to it. Right?
You sound like you live-
it. All right then, dear people.
What is-
Beep, beep, boo. You know?
That was French. That last part was French.
That might have been. Yes, that's I remember French. Sorry.
Here's something that's gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
I want your opinion.
Mhm.
I want your thought because you're not an opinionated guy, because I think opinionated people don't actually know what they're talking about. You're a well-spoken human being that you're like me. You see something, you read the first 3 lines, you're like, "Yep, that's fucking horrible," and let's go. No, you're a well-rounded human.
Hmm.
We have uncovered, and I might have talked about this before, but in your 50 years and in my 40 plus years, the
Mhm.
shit that we have been a part of,
Mm.
history wise,
Yeah.
yet we spend most of our lives overthinking, living in the past, and catastrophizing the future.
Mhm. Mhm.
We don't realize how minuscule our 90 to 100 years on this earth actually is. If you think about, they're able to uncover things from thousands of years ago and read it still written on the material it was written on.
Yeah. Yep.
So what is our 90 to 100 years? Like when you put it in, when it's put in a perspective like that, like what does your brain do?
It's dust, man. I mean, okay, so let me just okay, so what you're saying is something really interesting because my wife and I the other night were laying in bed and I started kind of just thinking about, the universe and all that stuff. And anyone who does this knows what I'm about to say. So I started thinking, okay, so planet Earth, it's huge, right? I mean, to us, we live on it. It's gigantic. Well, it's not. It's probably one of the smallest little planets out there. Um, then you look at it from the moon. So when astronauts go, I'm going to go on a little tangent here. So when astronauts go out into space, when they come back, a lot of them have to go through psychiatric evaluation because they have removed themselves from being grounded to what they know, right? So they're out there, they're looking at this little pebble, this little blue and green pebble, and they're going, oh my God, I fucking live on that. Now, let's look at this. Go further outside of our galaxy, we become a dust particle. Go further, we barely even exist. We're not even a blip on the radar. Which leads me to this. All the stuff that we have in our 90 to 100 years, I mean, I ain't making it to fucking 90. I already fucking know that. And I'm okay with it. But everything that we do in our 90 to 100 years is nothing. It's minuscule. It's minute. It doesn't matter. Planet Earth could be vaporized tomorrow, and the universe would go on doing its thing, whatever the fuck that is, right? We are stardust, man. We're nothing. All our problems, our bills, our anxieties, our stresses, all that shit is stuff that we have come up with in our brains, our little tiny pea brains, right? And we've put so much emphasis on all this bullshit. We rarely look up anymore. We rarely look up and look at night and look at the stars and kind of just gaze and go, holy shit, what are we? Right? We're too busy, thinking about, fucking hopefully Donald Trump goes to prison soon, or hopefully your money doesn't take long to roll out because you need that new king face on there. All this shit is nothing. It means abso-fucking-lutely nothing. We are on a little tiny grain of sand, maybe not even that big, floating through a cosmos that has cajillion, bajillion, gamillion, fatillion. I don't even know if these are real words. Planets. I mean, it's all fucking ridiculous, dude. It really is.
But I believe, wonderfully said, by the way, and the reason I asked you, and it's the reason I waited to ask you, is because, well, one, I wanted to talk about it because I believe that when we realize how, what's the word? When we realize what we actually are, that grain of sand,
Yeah.
it's what triggers my growth. When I start realizing that all of this shit is made up, all of this is made up. The way we go through our day is made up. I'll tell you do you want to know what I do every morning I go to work?
What?
Every morning I go to work, and this is because, and I'm telling you this because, of your comment about the world could end tomorrow. And, and it'll just, whatever will go on. But every morning I go to work, I make sure all of my affairs are in order in case I don't come home, in case I die at work. Now, do you want to know what, like, there's some peace and harmony in that. But the place it comes from is I still have what will other people think if they see my internet browser history? What will other people think about me if they see this? Or what will that's how involved we are in judging ourselves, in how important all this is. Even when we are gone, we worry about how people are going to perceive us.
Not once we're gone. Once we're gone, it don't fucking matter. Nothing fucking matters. And by the way, I don't know the answer because I'm not gone and no one's come back to fucking tell me. So I don't know. But are we literally dead going, oh my God, don't look on my internet browser? Like, fuck no. God, no. What?
Sadhguru said, there's a lot of people that are religious, gurus that are religious, and they use, like they praise Allah and God and Jesus and all those peeps. And he goes, I don't. He says, because my mentality is, what if we are, like, people will say to you, man, you better be good or else you're gonna, if you die, you'll go to hell.
Bullshit. Yeah, it's all crap.
What if we're already in heaven and we're just fucking it up? Because we don't know
Yeah.
what this is, man. Like when
No,
you
we
start
don't.
and the further we get out and the further technology and science and research, gets with finding out what's fuck, we haven't even looked in we've seen what 20% of our oceans.
I know. That's scary too, by the way. That's
Well, we'll never see over 25 because we're destroying our planet on about 27 different levels. So,
oh fuck yeah. Oh
anyways,
my God. Someone said something the other day that I read, and I wish I could remember who put this out, but I think it was on Twitter. Uh he he literally said, we could be our planet, what we know of, could literally be in a petri dish on some other plane, on some other level, in some kid's bedroom. And he checks in once in a while and goes, oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, the little tiny particles are creating other particles and they're building all these little things. Like, we could literally be a science experiment in some other fucking, I don't know what you'd call it. But I mean, it's so crazy, man. Wayne, I'm telling you, man, things are. I feel like this. The older I get, and I'm just speaking me personally, the older I get, the less I care about a lot of things. The things that I hold dear to me now are my relationships. Okay. My good relationships. My bad relationships are fuck off. Fuck off. Right. I got no time for that shit. Um, the love I feel for people, uh, and just hoping that they feel about me the same way I feel about them. And if they don't, then okay, fine. But I just want that. I want that communication. I want that open line of camaraderie, and support. That's all I care about now, man. Really.
well, I think that when you find your people, like we meet thousands of people throughout our existence, and in that thousands, in that say we meet 1,000 people in that existence, only I would say only 10% of those people will leave significant marks in your memory. And
No.
and I mean, people will play integral roles in your life throughout your life, but there's a very small amount of people that will leave a permanent mark in your memory.
Mhm.
And I was having a conversation with my neighbor over the fence the other day. And he's a very like he's a little bit younger than me, but he's very much about energy and the world around him. And he's a pretty cool human. We're just getting to know each other. He's rather new.
Mhm.
Whatever. He goes, "You know what's funny?" He says, "I will lie in bed awake at night. I will lie in bed awake at night after if I had a bad day and I said something I didn't mean, or I did something that I didn't, that I didn't want to do, or I reacted a certain way I shouldn't have reacted." He goes, "I will lie in bed awake and I will just overthink it and it'll cause my anxiety to just go through the roof." And he goes, "I just wish that I didn't lie in bed and overthink that stuff." And I looked at him without hesitation and I said, "But that's a good thing. There are people in this world that do shitty things to other human beings, and there are people in this world that do shitty things to themselves, and they will sleep all night, all through the night, and they won't think twice about it. The simple fact that you're able to overthink the things that you did because you know that you shouldn't have done them means you're accountable, and that means that you're a good human." We get
Yeah.
so caught up. We get so caught up in trying to fix all of these things wrong with us when at the end of the day, you're going to waste your entire life fixing things that don't need to be fixed. Just be accountable and treat that 10% of the 1,000 people that will leave a permanent mark in your memory. Treat them like fucking royalty.
I agree, man. I totally agree. The people. Okay, so to piggyback on that, the people that don't feel remorse and that are lacking empathy and that can't, for some reason, grasp emotional intelligence, right? Those people, to me, in my opinion, are on the sociopath spectrum. They are. I mean, there's something wrong with someone's brain when they can't take responsibility, hold themselves accountable for shitty things that they've done to people. Now, we've all done shitty things to people. I have. You have. I know every single person that I know has. The difference is seeing it, realizing it, and trying to maybe do better next time if the time should come, right? Learning from our mistakes or things that we perceive as mistakes. Correct? I mean, it's just being accountable. It's just being responsible, you know.
Well, I've done shitty things to myself and other people my entire life because of my unhealed and undealt with traumas or whatever. Chemical levels, doesn't matter. I've done shitty things to people, and I've done shitty things to myself, and there has not been one shitty thing, not one, from the time I punched that kid in grade 9 until now, that I don't lie in bed awake at night full of anxiety because I'm accountable for the shitty things that I have done to myself and to other people. And that has been one of the few things that, that would always kind of make its way to the front of my brain when I was struggling the most, because it would be like, Wayne, no, you are doing things that are that are harming yourself or harming other people in a mental way, but you're accountable for it. That means that you're going to grow out of this. It might take you 40 years, 50 years, whatever, but you are going to grow through this. And that's some fucking powerful shit. That's a weapon, having the ability. We can you go through things. I mean, listen, 2 weeks, and I know, congratulations, you're 2 weeks sober.
Yes,
Now,
I am. I forgot.
you're not,
yes.
You never had a drinking problem,
Mm-mm.
but your drinking was becoming a problem to you.
Yes, to me it was.
And because you are so self-aware and you are so accountable for your actions and the things that you do, you were able to recognize that, fuck, I need to make a change. And
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was tired being tired 3 times a week. Do you know what I mean?
Where before, I mean, yeah, like it's beautiful what we do for ourselves and to ourselves, man.
Yeah, hey man, and look, I not only the booze, but all the other shit too. Like I all the party stuff. Let's just put it that way. I stopped doing 2 weeks ago, and I feel fucking great. My brain is now. I feel like it's healed from that poison. And again, I'm not going to say that I'm never going to have a beer again or whatever the fuck. That's not the point. The point is to literally see what you can accomplish without that that beefed up serotonin, dopamine. You know what I mean? Let's see what we can do if we do my regular brain. That's all. And it's just for me. It's for me. I'm doing it for me. No one else. That's all.
I'll say this. You said about 15 minutes ago, when we were talking about age and stuff like that, you had said, yeah, I already know I'm not going to live till I'm 100. Do you know that because you're so gigantic, and gigantic people don't live as long as the rest of us?
Look, in my body, I'm going to say this. That's funny, but in my body, I've done so much damage to my body. I am the first to admit it. I take full responsibility. No one had a hand in it. It was all me. The drugs and stuff that I have done throughout my life, I know have played a part in damage done to my body. Right. I have smoked cigarettes for Jesus Christ. I don't know, 30 years here in, for the most part. And that's a fucking fact. And I still fucking do. Now, after getting, now that I've gotten rid of the drinking for now, I plan on going to the smoking. But first, before I do that, I need to literally solidify my eating habits. Okay. So I want to, and I don't want to do it in a stressful way. I don't want to do it in a way that I fucking hate, where I know at any moment I'm gonna just be like, fuck it, I'm going to McDonald's. I'm getting a 5-pound bag of bullshit and I'm gonna shove it in my pie hole. No, I want to do it where I actually enjoy the food I'm eating, and I'm eating for medicine, so I don't need medicine to fucking live, having to use medicine later on down the line because of the fucking food I ate. That's all I'm saying. So I'm starting to tackle that now. I'm starting to do that.
If you become a vegan?
No, that will never happen. I love meat.
I'm gonna say this as one of your closest friends,
Okay.
somebody who you think about every night before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
If you go vegan,
hmm it's over.
no, it's never over. I'm just gonna look at you with disdain the whole time.
Well, I will say this, okay, and I totally understand where you're coming from, and I get it. You know, when my wife went, she's not vegan, she's vegetarian. She still eats eggs and fish and shit like that, but she hasn't touched, steak or chicken or anything like that in fucking 6 years, 7 now. I don't even know. I was pissed at her. I'm gonna be honest. I was pissed because I just remember I literally have these daydreams, and I sit there and think, that one time in 2011 when we went out, we both ordered the biggest steak on the menu.